another sold-out arena. We've got the Los Angeles Lakers taking on the San Antonio Spurs. So glad you can join us for this presentation of 2K Sports in the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan. Joining me, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. A look here at the Lakers starting group presented by State Farm. Fisher and Kobe man the backcourt. Howe and Bynum filling up the middle. And it's Artest in at the 3 spot. And for the Spurs, Manu and Jefferson on the wings. McDyess and Duncan, they're inside. And it's Parker in at the point guard.
Look at the Lakers versus the Spurs. I mean, the two dominant teams of the past decade or so, really. I mean, since '99, these two teams have combined for 9 titles. And their rivalry, really one of the preeminent ones the last decade plus in the NBA.
And it's going to be the Spurs off the tip. Duncan outside. Bynum on him. Inside Leaner. And Duncan finishes inside. Duncan's got the game going with his first points of the game for the Spurs. Clark, you talk about the Spurs and the Lakers rivalry. From '99 to 2008, they faced off in the playoffs 6 times. Steve, that's a nice, long stretch of terrific players and wonderful players.
Yeah, I was a part of a few of those series, Kevin. There were some classics in there. Spurs won 2 in '99 and 2003. Lakers won 4. And when you have 2 great teams like that over a long period of time in the same conference, they're bound to butt heads in the playoffs. That's exactly what happened. Kobe Bryant is one of those select few first-name basis superstars in the NBA. Larry, Michael, and of course Kobe, Magic. Those guys are famous by one name only.
The first free throw is good. And Steve, you know, Kobe, of course, the man in the entertainment capital of Los Angeles. He's taken the attention in stride. I think he feeds off it a little bit. You know,
sure.
It's you have a special psyche to play in that kind of environment.
Yeah, and he's handled it really well. I mean, for a guy who spends so much time in the public eye, it seems as though he's always been motivated more by winning than the adoration. I think that's why he has such great respect from his teammates, and another reason why the Lakers have been so successful since he's been there.
Now here's Ginobili. Picked up by Kobe. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Over Bryant, and that's good for 2. Here's Fisher. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kevin, Greg Popovich had a few moments to share with me. The point he emphasized to me the strongest was the need for a sharp defensive performance. He touted his squad's knack for reading an offense and reacting accordingly. He said, we'll be ready for whatever they have in store for us. Trust me. Kevin?
Wonderful, Doris. Thanks. They're thinking about Clark and Steve, their defense right off the bat here.
Yeah, you're never going to go wrong putting the bulk of your effort into getting stops. I mean, that always pays off.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if that's going to be the case, if they're going to bring that style and that type of energy, they've got to be ready to go deep into their bench tonight as well.
Now here's Kobe. 6 on the shot clock. He's covered by Ginobili, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
Well, Mike Brown taking over as coach of the Lakers this season, I think it's a good fit. He knows what it's like to coach a star because he had LeBron in Cleveland, played in a lot of big games. No doubt he'll be under the spotlight in L.A. with the Lakers.
Splitter is checked in for Antonio McDyess. Matt Barnes is checked in for the Lakers. Blake comes in for Derek Fisher. Now here's Ginobili. Outside Jefferson. Here's Parker. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Well, Steve, going back to Mike Brown once more, they're going to expect a lot from him from the get-go, I would imagine, Clark, out in Los Angeles, where the NBA is #1 out there.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely some additional scrutiny and pressure. It'll be a little hotter on that seat for Mike Brown, but you know what? He coached LeBron James in Cleveland where expectations were high, and I've seen Mike grow as an assistant coach with the Pacers. He's a high-quality guy and a terrific basketball coach. it's win it all or nothing out in L.A. And I think at this point in his career, he's ready for the challenge.
Now here's Kobe. Here's Gasol. Duncan with the block. San Antonio leading. Now Parker. Splitter dishes to Parker. Moving it around. Duncan kicks to Ginobili. The three is launched. Duncan commits the loose ball foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. DeJuan Blair. He's checked in for San Antonio. Here's Blake.
You know, guys, the Spurs played great basketball against their Western Conference foes. I mean, they went 38-14 against the West.
Backing down is Bryant. Fades. That's good. It's all knotted up.
He has such a calm demeanor, but he locks in, takes his time, and finishes.
Steve, when you look at the Spurs' regular season dominance a season ago, what was the key in your mind?
I thought it was Greg Popovich's style. I mean, he decided to go away from that traditional inside-out game. They got much faster as a team. They played a higher pace. And Pop knew they had to take advantage of their scoring and to cover up for the fact that they're no longer one of the most talented teams in the NBA.
From about 19 feet, Ginobili knocks it loose. San Antonio with the ball. Backing down is Jefferson. Stepped on the line, out of bounds there, and that will cost them the possession.
You know, something distracted him. The guy just kind of profiled right out of bounds.
And the Spurs with some changes. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. McDyess comes in for Richard Jefferson. And Gary Neal subbed in for Manu Ginobili. And then for the Lakers, Odom comes in for Andrew Bynum. And it's Brown in for Kobe. Blake kicks to Brown. And Bonner pulls it down.
It seems like he tightens up, guys, when he gets close to the rim, especially with a defender nearby.
And McDyess backs in. Blair against Odom. Clock at 6. A fader. Parker's shot is off.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
Outside Gasol. From beyond the arc. San Antonio with the rebound. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Parker passes to McDyess. Gasol covering. McDyess kicks to Bonner. Brown against Parker. There's Neal with the three. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Spurs out in front. They lead by a bucket.
The defense was really impressive there, guys, in that first quarter. They came out focused right from the beginning.
And, Steve, that's a big part of why they're on top right now.
And we'll be back in just a moment. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here.
Kobe Bryant now back to back. Shoot the three if I have the Nash. Hit the White Howard when I'm at the basket in the gym.
Here's Fisher. So with Gasol on the bench, this is the group Mike Brown has right now. Odom plays the 4 with Bynum at the center. Brown out there with Derek Fisher, and it's Artest in at the 3.
Man, I like the aggressiveness defensively, forcing that mistake.
Neal's shot is off.
All the defender had to do there was just stay close to him, and he did.
When you talk about that great front court depth for the Lakers, all that length, rebounding, their ability to really crash the glass, and they were actually the 5th best rebounding team in the NBA last year in terms of rebounding differential.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Guys, emphasized Tony Parker a great point guard, but like the Spurs team in general, he's often overlooked. He said, when there is talk about the best point guards, sometimes they don't talk about me, but that's not my main motivation. They can talk about Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, Deron Williams, and Chris Paul. I still have the most rings. And fellas, like they always say, the ring's the thing.
Well, Doris, you can't argue with that.
You know, and his story may be like those artists who aren't actually appreciated in their time. I mean, he doesn't get the attention now, but championships are the type of achievement that really live on.
And they turn it over, stepped in the line that time. And Steve, you were talking about that differential, 2.5 extra possessions in their favor because of it. And Clark, for the Lakers, already a very good team offensively. With that rebounding advantage, those extra possessions more often than not lead to a basket.
Well, they've got such tremendous size. When you look at Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum, you throw in Lamar Odom. I mean, those guys are long and really good rebounders at both ends, but particularly on the offensive glass. And you know, anytime you get an offensive rebound, usually those defenders are scrambled, and you're going to be able to get a high-quality shot.
The Spurs making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. The Lakers also changing it up. Pau Gasol is checked in for Bynum, and Kobe is subbed in for Shannon Brown. Here's Neal. He's covered by Fisher. And Neal kicks to Ginobili. Drops in the tray. Ginobili's got 5.
He is extremely comfortable behind that three-point line. I mean, especially when you give him that kind of room to operate.
And I think one of the reasons that Spurs had such a great season a year ago is that Manu Ginobili was ready right out of the gates. He exploded and helped the Spurs off to that incredibly hot start. Now they get those 3 points back in a hurry, don't they?
Yeah, they sure did. Didn't take them long at all to respond.
Picked up by Kobe. Duncan with a screen on Kobe. Duncan outside. Here's McDyess. And that's the devastating one-handed jam.
Old school, old-fashioned, one-hand power jam.
Just like you, Clark, tried and true.
That's all he needed to do. Just taking care of business out there.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And Steve Manu Ginobili stayed healthy almost all the regular season. Started to leave behind his ankle issues, which Clark had really cost him, I think, some valuable time earlier in his career.
It really did. And even after a hyperextended elbow that cost him a game in the playoffs, he was the best Spur in that first-round series against the Grizzlies. So, in all, I think a pretty healthy season for Manu.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. DeJuan Blake, he's checked in for McDyess. Splitter comes in for Richard Jefferson. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Gary Neal. Bryant. Here's our test. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. San Antonio leading.
Boy, I'm always impressed, guys, by how solid the Spurs are defensively. Last season, the 11th best defensive team in the league. They've got an established system. Again, players that fit into a system and execute it well, and it's been running for well over a decade, really. Everybody on the same page there.
Now Parker, after Ron Artest's three-pointer that didn't go.
Tell you, he's worked hard to improve his jumper, but it still hasn't clicked for him.
Unloads. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
First person to foul, team 7. Shooting for Los Angeles. Lamar Odom. 2 shots.
And that one falls for Odom. You know, Clark, for the Spurs, I think, as Tim Duncan has started to slow down just a bit, you can see it there, or at least as he's transitioning into the later stages of his career, they're looking for another tough interior defender to take up some slack.
Yeah, I think they're hoping that Thiago Splitter, who was a rookie last season, will make some big strides here this year and really help San Antonio on the glass and at the defensive end of the floor down on that block.
Well, guys, it was the best start in franchise history for the Spurs last season. They got to 40 wins before the end of January. That was the team first, and finished with the second-best record in the league, 61 wins.
Now here's Ginobili. He has 5 over Odom, and the basket by Ginobili. Ginobili's got 7.
And he knows how to finish when he gets that close to the hoop.
So, Steve, a team you used to play for, the Spurs, essentially a 50-win team for the last 13 seasons, including when you played for them, but they may be nearing the end of their championship window. At least some people think that. How about you?
Well, even Tony Parker said over the summer that he didn't think the Spurs could win a championship anymore. So what a run it's been. 50-win seasons, 13 times in a row. Just incredible. They'll still be very competitive. This is not a championship team any longer.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, Mike Brown is fully aware of the expectations in his first year as the Lakers head coach. He knows what he got into and understands what the Lakers consider success. Quote, "We don't play for second here." He will have his work cut out, though, given how the Lakers exited last year's playoffs.
Thank you, Doris. No doubt a lot of pressure on Mike Brown in his first year here in L.A.
Well, tough shoes to fill in Phil Jackson, and then a place in Los Angeles where winning is expected. And if you don't win at all, it's been a failure.
Free throw good by Parker.
At this point, really, I mean, Parker has become the extension of Greg Popovich on the floor, along with Tim Duncan. And they both are capable of running the show. They do it in different ways, though.
He doesn't get the second one. Well, Clark, going back to what you said about Popovich and Parker, and I do think, though, they're on a very even keel right now. Steve, that's a very important relationship, isn't it? The point guard and the head coach.
Yeah, it sure is. And, you know, I was there when Tony Parker and Pop were butting heads in San Antonio. That was at the end of my career. I think it was great for Tony to have a coach who really banged on him hard and forced him to work and to understand the NBA. And I think Pop really helped Parker become an elite player.
Here is Parker. And here's Blair. Outside Jefferson. Shot clock at 6. Sinks the three-pointer. Jefferson's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
The question is, do they go 2 for 1 here?
Can they get a good shot in time? That's the question.
Backing down is Bryant. The turnaround jumper. That's good. Kobe's got 11 points.
Boy, he's really doing a nice job taking advantage of what the defense is giving.
Here's Parker. Outside Jefferson. Fires the 3. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Jefferson's got 6 in the quarter. Heaves it up. The shot will not go. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Spurs lead by 6.
The Lakers, 16.
Hello and welcome to this Wednesday edition of the HP Halftime Report. Out at AT&T Center, the Spurs have the lead against the Lakers. They've dictated the game in every way, just imposing their will on the court. Manu Ginobili leads them in scoring. And, of course, Richard Jefferson also making his presence felt. There's no quit in the Lakers. They came to win. They played gritty D and have been hauling in the defensive rebounds. We've already seen some highlights from these two in the first half. They're leading both their teams in scoring. Thanks so much for joining us here in the studio. We hope to see you next time. We'll send you back out to the second half.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. Here's Fisher.
You know, for so long we've seen the Lakers coast into the playoffs, put themselves in a tight spot, and then find a way out of it. But in that series versus Dallas in last season's playoffs, they really looked like a tired and overmatched team.
Jefferson and McDyess make up the forwards. Parker and Manu are the backcourt. And it's Duncan in at the 5 down low. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. Jefferson kicks to McDyess. Parker outside. Backing him down is Duncan. Good luck. And the Spurs scoring again. for the Lakers. Kobe said, Clark, after that series, we've been playing with fire the last 3 years. Now we finally got what we deserve. Steve, that is a very interesting quote. Take it apart for us and delve into it.
Well, I think the Lakers had been to the finals for 3 straight years, and I think they were worn out emotionally. And for a couple of those playoff series over the years, they did play with fire and get away with it. Not last year. Dallas just destroyed them, and I think the Lakers just looked tired, both physically and mentally.
Ginobili with the 3. Fisher grabs the board.
Tough three-point try there with a hand in his face.
Boy, you'd be lucky to make that one against great defense.
Goes up, and it's Bynum with the jam.
Kobe doing a great job being a playmaker on that one.
Here's Ginobili. He has 7.
Man, I'll tell you what, guys, Derek Fisher has had a lot on his plate the last couple of years. He's the president of the NBA Players Association. Not only was he trying to lead his team to a championship, but he's been trying to fix these labor issues as well.
Out of bounds, and they retain possession. Matt Barnes is checked in for Ron Artest. Knocks it loose.
He did what he could to try to handle that pass, but that was too hard to handle.
Here's Kobe. An easy 2 points on the layup. Kobe's got 4 points now in the quarter. You guys talk about Derek Fisher. What a professional.
Kevin, this guy basically made the most of his natural abilities. Never a premier athlete. Always in great shape, though. Always plays hard, plays smart. And he seems to be able to knock down big threes at the most important times. He's done that throughout his career, and goes back to when he and Kobe joined the Lakers as rookies.
Absolutely.
Spent a lot of time riding the bus together in the gym before and after practice, and he just worked, and now he's got multiple rings.
He and Kobe both have won the 5 rings. Yeah, they really hooked at the hip, aren't they?
Right.
San Antonio calls timeout.
That was interesting. Once again, late last season for the Lakers, they slumped to close out the regular season. It seems to be a pattern. It's almost like they get bored before they actually get into the postseason.
Here's Jefferson. 6 points for him. The pass to McDyess. He passes to Parker. Backing him down is Duncan. 6 to shoot. Guarded now by Andrew Bynum. Shot denied.
This game very well could come down to a few possessions, and if that's the case, rebounding could play large.
Yeah, in a close game like this one, securing the ball is so vital.
Now here's Gasol. Looking for his first bucket of the game. Barnes dishes to Gasol. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. Bryant. Kobe can't get that one to fall. And, Steve, for the Lakers, Lamar Odom said himself their sluggish finishes in the second half were partly born of overconfidence, of ego. I don't know much credence you put in that, Clark. What do you think?
You know what? I think there is a human tendency to become complacent, to become full, and you can lose some of your edge. I don't think it's a lack of humility and respect. I think it's just the nature of being somewhat satisfied. And when you're in this league, because people are coming after you a lot harder when you've got what they want in terms of championships, and especially as you age, I think it gets harder sometimes to fight off that resistance and to flip the switch if you find yourself in a little bit of a rut.
Gasol passes to Fisher. Backing down is Bryant. And that comes off the assist by Derek Fisher. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back. San Antonio calls timeout.
And when you ask anybody what sets Kobe apart as a player, more than anything else, they'll say it's his competitiveness. In fact, Lamar Odom, his teammate, said he's the most competitive player he's ever played with.
San Antonio. Gary Neal comes in for Tony Parker. And then for the Lakers, Ron Artest is checked in for Barnes. Brown comes in for Kobe. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Derek Fisher. There's a minute left in the third. You know, Steve, when you talk about Kobe's competitive drive, it's one thing to compete on the court, but that drive, that competitive drive, Clark, also is what's driven him to develop his game off the floor.
And that's where the work really takes place, Kevin. I mean, the games are the fun part. It's the work that you put into it that allows you to perform at your highest level. And that's a big reason the Lakers have been so successful in his time with the team. I mean, when your best player is also your hardest working player, we hear that all the time, but it's true. It's a fact. It's reality. Everyone on the team has to step it up or look like a slagger or a slugger. And that's not going to fly, particularly with a franchise like the Lakers.
Have you ever, and you've played athletics all your life, have you ever been around a great athlete who wasn't the hardest worker on any team at any level?
No, you wouldn't be. You would see tremendous talent not realize its potential, but the ones that get the most out of their God-given ability, not only are they gifted, but they also really work at it.
It's Ginobili outside, cannot hit. And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. You look at Kobe Bryant in this game, I mean, he has been everywhere.
That's one thing to get to the rim, and it's another to finish when you get there. I mean, he's done both so far.
Yeah, through the first three quarters, I mean, he's done a great job of being able to complete plays at the rim, finishing drives nicely.
Don't go away. We'll see you in a moment. We're still getting underway here in the fourth. Let's go down to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Spark of the Game report. Doris?
Hey, Kevin. Well, the spark in this one, Kobe Bryant. He's been the star of the show in this one and continually finds himself in the right place at the right time. We'll see what he has here in the fourth.
Thank you, Doris. Clark, he has meant a bunch to this team.
Well, basically, Kevin, he's carried them pretty much the whole game.
Well, they've had three quarters to come up with an answer for him defensively, but they haven't been able to figure out anything.
So with Kobe sitting on the bench, this is the group Mike Brown has right now. Artest and Odom in at the forward slots. Steve Blake is out there with Brown, and it's Ratliff in at the 5. With his first shot attempt, the Lakers with the rebound. Odom's got 3 rebounds now in this one. And stolen by Blair. Ginobili with the ball. Now Splitter. Ginobili outside. Blair, the screen. Over Blake. Ginobili can't hit.
And you can sense the frustration coming from him right now. He just can't find his game.
Boy, he is missing a lot of chances, Steve. Too many.
Here's Blake. Odom backing down. A fadeaway. DeJuan Blair grabs the miss. Blair's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Parker. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Parker's got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Spurs. And the Lakers call time here.
He wants to make a few adjustments out there, and he's running through those with his team right now.
Catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thanks, Kevin. I got a chance to hear what Mike Brown was saying to the team. He said to them, show me you want it more than they do. I need your best effort from here till the final buzzer. The W is there. You guys just go get it.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for Splitter. McDyess comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Jefferson in for Tony Parker. And it's Artest missing. A chance here to retake the lead.
Showing some intensity here in these last few minutes.
Neal's shot is off. And the Lakers have possession. Looking to get on the board here in the fourth still. Fisher with the ball. McDyess is there. Odom up top. Passes it to Fisher. Kobe, that's for two. And again, the Lakers no good. Here's Neal. Picked up by Kobe. He feeds it to McDyess. Jefferson. Backing him down is Duncan. The jump hook. Gets it to go. And the Spurs lead by 2.
Yeah, they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
Looked like he squirted that one off a little too quickly there. The defense really was never in the play.
Jefferson gets the bucket. Timeout called the Lakers.
Yeah, he doesn't really like what he's seen, and they're going to try to hash it out here.
Here for the Spurs. Ginobili comes in for Juwan Blair. And Tony Parker subbed in for Richard Jefferson. And the Lakers also making a switch. Gasol's checked in. Here's Fisher. Kicks it to Kobe. Pass to Fisher. Tipped away. Back to Kobe. Working down low. Jumps up. And he lays it straight in. Kobe's got 19 points.
Carving them up inside there, Kevin. I mean, the defense has been vulnerable in there.
Yeah, that's 3 straight field goals in the paint area. That's really good offense.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. They're up by 2. 1:43 left to play in the final quarter. Here is Parker. Releases from 15. The shot is off. And it's the Lakers taking it the other way. And here's Fisher. Now here's Kobe. Picked up by Ginobili. Lock at 6. Dishes it to Odom. Three-pointer, and there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
San Antonio leading. Here is Parker. Ginobili outside. Duncan with a screen on Odom. Ginobili misses.
Oh, he misses that one. He did knock down 1 3-pointer in the first half. But
less than 1 minute left. Outside, Kobe. Duncan with the block. And they get it back. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Parker with shoots from the elbow. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. And here's the Lakers. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Now Fisher. 6 on the shot clock. 13 feet out. Got it!
Sometimes folks forget about his decent mid-range jumper. He can knock those down all game given the chance.
Here's Ginobili. Oh, the all-or-nothing shot, no good. And so it's the Lakers who come out on top here. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Thank you for joining us for this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Last but not least, here is your Jordan Player of the Game, Kobe Bryant.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right.